Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Trade Recaps and Daily Teachings. So hopefully everybody is doing great. Before we start, quick disclaimer, anything we discuss is just for educational purpose, nothing is financial advice. All right guys, a little late video today, but a lot to recap. We had a Trump taco trade today. We had an amazing day. We had a chop in the morning, and then we had some amazing swing trades. Amazing day for day traders, amazing trade for swing traders, chop versus trend, MTF cloud strategy. So a lot to learn today, we did pretty good. I mean, still had like 18% people right today. By the time I did the poll, most of the traders had left, but overall it was a pretty good trade. A lot of our swing trades that were added in the morning, and I will show you how to plan for those. They went pretty up nicely as well, and overnight trades for the SpaceX IPO, they are paying us pretty well. So overall, pretty good day. We had a plan. So I'm going to teach you a lot of things today: how to trade the A+ setups, the tier 1 upgrades, how to trade the chop versus trend, how to trade Trump taco, and using the MTF cloud strategy, how to trade catalyst, and then how to focus on charts, your swing setups. So a lot to discuss today, a little late video, but I promise you if you watch it, you will learn a lot and it will help you to master the market consistently. Before we do it, quick recap, because a lot of new members join our community, new member follow on X, new members from YouTube. So we trade a repeatable system called Ripster Cloud System, and it also includes a lot of my teachings on the psychology, risk management, and on the swing trading investing, right? So I've been teaching this, my teachings on X, on YouTube, on ripstereducation.com from 8-9 years. Thousands of traders use my education, free education, and change lives. A lot of lives change. You can check on ripstereducation.com. We also trade my system in China Trade Group, our community, one of the largest online trading community, where we make a plan in the pre-market, what we are going to trade today, what is the key news, what is the plan based upon our system support levels and initial game plan that I give. We have earning plays, we have upgrade, downgrades, which I will talk about today, was a key on the tier 1 upgrade setups. Then we also have something called day 2, day 3 strategy. Amazing strategy. BE was one of a big play on our day 2 strategy. We will recap, and BIS also on the day 2 strategy. And we trade a lot of other things, futures. All this is live. I'm live on voice. I'm live on screen share. Thousands of traders are live all day. We have a lot of tools, 3-4 option scanners, stock scanners, breaking news alerts, halts, unhalts, multiple. Today the taco news alone, was like, paid up for, multi-year membership for the members. So anyways, we are not an alert service. We are a community of our professional traders. Anybody who want to join with the family of traders can always join us. If not, just learn from what I teach you free here and use these teachings. Thousands of the traders who are using my free teachings are also growing their account and portfolios in the community. So we trade SPY, QQQ, leverage ETFs, low floats, IPOs. We trade everything in live in the community. So I'm going to go through all the setups, and I'm going to show you my timestamped guidance. I'm on the voice as well, so I will try to show you any of my voice transcript as well, how I guided the traders through so many setups today. So that being the introduction, let's start with our setups. All right, let's start us talking about Intel, ARM, and AMD. So there's a setup called tier 1 upgrade setup. So what was the upgrade? Intel got a Bank of America upgrade, price target raised to 135 from 96. Huge price target. A+ setup. The tier 1s, Bank of America, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, these are tier 1 upgrades, right? Then you trade this with clouds. The plan was bullish buys to long over pre-market highs, short under daily 2021 MTF break. So we highlighted it as a red play. Red means it's a top focus for us, and then it did not disappoint at all. So as soon as the market opened on Intel, you could see that what was happening here on Intel at the open. Let's take a look here on Intel. So as soon as the market opened on Intel, I told the traders long Intel, use the stops versus 113, and and it started to push right long at the open, just like a pre-market plan. We ran all the way to 119, so that was a $6 per share profit for the traders. We took the profits at 10 a.m. and once it broke down the 512s, we exited it. So it was just a morning trade, because then the market went into the chop, market pulled back. The reason being VIX bounced and SPY did a 10 a.m. rejections, which I always teach you those concepts. So SPY pulled back. So SPY went to, you see 10 a.m. SPY went back. So the Intel went back, and that's fine. That happens. So Intel went back, and let's look at the next one there. So next one was this ARM. So ARM was a similar setup. What was the plan on ARM? Let's take a look here. So ARM, this was our ARM. ARM actually even worked after our taco trade as well. So let's talk about ARM. So let's look at the pre-market planning on ARM. So the pre-market planning on ARM was another tier 1 upgrade. Bank of America securities raised to 335 from 245. A plus repeatable setup. We have traded this setup thousands of times. I have taught, I have shown these setups thousands of times. So the plan was 300 psychological setup long over daily 2021 MTF clouds. These are our MTF clouds, 20 1 hour MTF cloud. And right at the open, RGV, one of the senior traders in the community, told the traders to long on the pullback. I was on the voice. I also told the traders that the top players in the market right now are the ARM, Intel, and we'll talk about AMD in a bit. Why was that? Because all of them, all the CPU names, you see all the CPU names, they got an upgrade from the tier 1, right? So you can see that bunch of upgrades on ARM Intel. They're the strongest names, ARM, strongest names. So RGB was a long right away. I was on the voice. I told the traders strongest name to long it, and I gave the target of 332. We hit the 332, we hit the 334 right from the long at the open, 317, 318. Traders took almost $12 to $13 profit. Then of course we pulled back, but guess what? We never broke the MTF clouds, right? So a lot of the day traders stopped out, but in the end of the day, when ARM started to hold the MTF clouds, that's when it was a taco trade, and that's what RGV told everyone, that we are holding Ripster 1 hour MTF cloud. So you get back in anywhere here, your stops right under here. So this is a $2 to $3-4 stops. It went on to run to 344. So that was the the taco trades. You can see step-by-step guidance here by RGV. This is called the MTF long with the morning longs and midday MTF. You see, you never broke the MTFs. Also 3450. It broke the 512s, but you have to look at the next support level, the MTF clouds. Also a double MTF here. So what does the MTF cloud mean? For first time after many days, we actually turned bullish on the 1 hour chart. And you see that we have been selling off for a long time. The stock came all the way from 427 all that way down to 300. So that gave it became a good setup because that was a decent pullback. That's why it was on the focus. So even yesterday when I sent out this email to a lot of our free members of our investing website, our investing and research website, so I talked about the ARM. It was a main focus. I talked about AMD, that was sent. So we were getting ready. I was preparing these charts overnight. ARM, AMD. You can you can subscribe to Tanner Research AI if you need these emails. It's free. But we also do even on the Tanner chart on Tanner charts. We posted all these setups on ARM. I posted this yesterday. So you have to be ready with those setups. You see 300 psychological level, 310 Fibonacci level. So that's how you prepare, and that's how you can day trade long, you can swing long on that name. And the same thing goes for AMD. So let's look at AMD. AMD, what was the pre-market plan on AMD? So let's take a look here. So AMD, our pre-market plan, let's see here, AMD was MTF long in the morning. Right, so AMD was the MTF long in the morning, ran for 462s all the way to 480, another tier 1 upgrade, and it pulled back. We stopped out, and it was actually weak before the taco hit, and then it became a midday MTF cloud long setup. So it became MTF midday cloud long setup. And why did it bounce? You have to look at a picture that where it was bouncing from. So you see you have these levels we draw there, 452, 458. All these are our Fibonacci levels, and we were watching the daily picture, and it bounced from there, and then it pushed towards the this MTF clouds and midday calls. So anyways, that's why Intel, ARM, AMD was our top place in the morning. Of course, we stopped out at 10 a.m. We went into the chop, and then came taco in the middle of the day. All right, so let's look at the taco trade, right? So what was the market doing? It was range bound. So I told my traders there's nothing to do. It's a range bound, because since we have our breaking news all on, we have 2 breaking news audio alerts. We have a breaking news coming right into our floor. There, as soon as the taco news hit, and I told the trader, and I tell you what, we'll talk about it in later. I said that we might taco, right? The reason we were adding a lot of swings today, because I told my traders that we might taco. We might hear some taco because the way the market was holding up. So I'll talk about that. So let's take a look here, what I was sharing in the morning with my traders. So so you see that in the morning when we were adding our swings, or we had told them the market is holding. Maybe it's expecting a taco from Trump, that Trump is going to back down. So what I noticed this morning on the market, we'll talk about why we added a bunch of the longs there. Even after this bad news about Trump saying that he's going to take over the Kurg Island, market did not break these levels. Market did not break these levels. Market was holding this. You see this level. Market was holding. Same for QQQ. So market was holding this level right under the MTF. It didn't even, it filled a little bit gap, but it was holding. But the VIX was also range bound. But as soon as the taco came, there was the MTF breakout right here. As soon as he said there's a deal coming, I told the traders to long it, and all the traders in the community were long on that setup. They were long on that setup, and it just when you could send traders from 500%, 1200%, 2000%. Rolex did 2000%, no slow did 1200%, Pole did 90%. Why? Because we were ready. Because you have to stay on top of everything, right? That if there's a taco, if there's just a big news, deal is coming, and we have a technical setup of 1 hour MTF cloud breakout, VIX breaks down of 21, and that's how we got it. VIX broke down of 21, and remember, MTF cloud was rejecting for some time. But once we got the news, once we got the MTF breakout, you stick on the long. And I was on the voice, I told my traders that hold it. Of course, we were trading it, hold your longs, let it work. And that's how we traded the taco long trade. Amazing, amazing. And this was the midday chop, right? So this was the midday chop. And then you just have to stay on top of the opportunities. You can see how the levels are holding, right? So that's how we did it. And let's go to the next one here. All right. So now let's look at Rocket Lab and ASTS, right? So we know that we got an IPO coming tomorrow. So what was happening? All the space stocks were strong, right? So if you go to Tanner Research, you will see space and rocket. You can literally choose any ticker you want. I personally, focused on Rocket Lab and ASTS. That's what I told my traders as well, to focus on Rocket Lab and ASTS, because what I was expected was that Rocket Lab is. So my guidance to the trader was that, get the Rocket Lab. It's a good swing, buy it, hold it until tomorrow, right? So that was it. Rocket Lab, you can trade Rocket Lab, hold into tomorrow. All day I was on voice, that's all I said. And also it was on our pre-market plan, you need Rocket Lab. We have been trading Rocket Lab. Of course, ASTS was also our swing. ASTS was our, in our portfolio that we have, ASTS was our swing that we had added from 75, 97, hit 133, was a huge winner for us. That's why our portfolio is up there big, so because we have been playing the SpaceX IPO playbook for some time, and I had even posted about that. If you see our research article, the SpaceX IPO, let's see here, how to play SpaceX IPO playbook. So we have been swing trading for huge profits on both Rocket Lab, ASTS, and all the names. Then also we are doing these overnight swings, right? So now let's talk about technicals, right? So how do you hold it? So you see that I bought it right here at the 110, 111 because it held. And then when taco came, I added a little bit more. You see when taco came, I added a little bit more because we were also having this breakout here on that. Not only that, I also tweeted about that. I tweeted about that Rocket Lab ASTS, we are swinging into the close overnight, good overnight holds for my followers as well. And you could see that it actually hit 127 overnight, and Rocket Lab got added to Nasdaq 100. So it's actually trading at 127 overnight. So huge, so morning we'll take profit and see where we go from there with SpaceX IPO. But that's how you find A plus confident setups. And my whole community was on top of it on Rocket Lab. Let's see here. You could see that Rocket Lab was a big play, and I'd been talking about Rocket Lab in the morning. ASTS, RGV also added at 112. So the whole community was on top of it. It's about That's what I teach. It's about finding those high conviction setups. Texas long did, Cloud added Rocket Lab and ASTS because of the conviction. TM hit 120 there as well. So yeah, so a lot of traders. That's how I do it. So that's how I do it. I try to share this free with my followers. I try to guide my traders. This is about the opportunity, about how you can grow your account significantly, finding this A+ catalyst plays. Let's go to the next one. All right, so now let's talk how to find, how the traders, how in a one single day, adding those swings and our account is up 10% and overall our account is up 90%, how we found those swings and what are my teachings, like what do I teach? And if you see, yesterday we posted a bunch of chart setups. As I always tell you, our shopping list, I posted DELL, the levels we are watching to buy a DELL swing. I posted Qualcomm, we also posted ARM, we posted AMD, P, Rocket Lab, I posted Rocket Lab, and posted ENPH as well. So basically I posted our shopping list, RBRK now, and Circle, right? So we posted the Circle as well. So we were trying to be ready for the eventual bounce. We don't know when the bounce was going to come, but we were ready. We also sent out emails. Anybody who subscribed to our emails, Tanner Research, our investing #1 investing and research platform. So we also sent out the emails with the buy levels. Basically, I'm trying to teach traders that be ready before the move. So I worked yesterday late night to set up these charts, and it paid up huge for you. You could see that whole shopping list. So that's how you be ready. There's no money in the market if you do not have preparation. If you are prepared, then you will have conviction to add your positions. You will have convictions to do good. That's how our portfolio is at 97% in launch our swing. We launched our service 2 months ago, and we are also 97%. Every trade is live, close, exit, everything is there. When we add, when we exit, just to trying to teach traders how to grow the portfolio with swing trading, and today was an amazing example. So let me show you what did we add, why did we add. So let's start with DELL, right? So I shared the chart as I showed you. I shared the chart freely as well for my free followers as well, but you got to press the button. So DELL, I shared this chart. There's a gap here holding this level. There's a Fibonacci level on DELL, if you can see that. So we had this DELL ready. So as soon as I saw that market is not kind of dumping even after the bad news, I told the traders that we are adding the swing on DELL. We sent the notification, we sent the phone notification, because our focus is to show traders. Of course, traders can follow, but I don't like that blind follow there on that. So we added the DELL. Exactly what I said. Let me show you here. So exactly what I said on DELL, that DELL told the traders add DELL versus 370, right? We added BE versus 240. We added ENPH versus 50. 1004. Right at 1004, I sent out that update to my traders. So what happened? Why did we add DELL 370? I just showed the daily chart. Look at this level, right? It was holding. So I told the traders, I even told that for swings marks to work, we need VIX to break 20. I think Trump might taco. So that was just analysis. And a bunch of other swings. We had Circle, which I filled at 81. And you can see the live timestamp here. Then so we had ENPH, which we added. So why were we adding those swings? Because what I noticed was the market was not dumping even after the bad news. And market was holding. And the one thing was noteworthy was that after days of bearish candles, market actually was holding the gap. You see, DELL, when I said add DELL versus 370, let's take a look here as a DELL versus, and we lost earlier on a DELL swing, 1 hour loss, but we made much more on that. Why was this 370 important for me? Because 370 was this level where we had the support from yesterday. That was almost yesterday's closing price there. So that's where it bounced, 370 bounced, and my entry was close to 372s. And from there on, we went on to, we were trading at 381, already $10 up. Then came the taco. Then came the 1 hour MTF breakout. You add more, you hold with the confidence. And there we go, 395. We already up on our DELL, our DELL position. We already up 5%, 391. We trimmed some into the close. And what did ENPH did? Why was I on ENPH? ENPH, it was a simple setup. In ENPH, ENPH, because this was a 50 psychological support here, right here on ENPH, and it kind of curled there, and it has pulled back. I'm not going to talk about the fundamentals and all. You can research and see what it is. That's why we added the ENPH versus 50. It was pulling back, but then the taco came. You have to be ready. You have to be ready, and our ENPH swing from 5140 almost at 5493. Same thing happened with Circle, right? Circle, our swing from 81 to 82. All these were added today, and like I told you, and then I showed you the BE entry from 240. We hit 248. So all these were the daily chart setups because I analyzed them yesterday, right? I was analyzing them on the pullbacks, on the support levels. So you have to be ready with your charts so you have more confidence. Today alone on adding those swings, our portfolio was 89% in the morning, and we are already hitting 100%. So that's how you do it. You have to long-term positions as well. We've been adding silver. Silver did pretty good. We have Netflix, bearish chart, but it's a long-term position. Hood long-term position did good. So you got to do your analysis. Even yesterday, I told my traders that CrowdStrike is a beautiful setup. Downtrend line pulling from a big run back to the 2021 MTF. Palo Alto did the same. So you go to analyze your charts. That's how you will find your swing setups. That's how you will find conviction, and you will find confidence in your swing trading and long-term investing. Do the hard work, analyze your charts, and that's how you will be able to find those setups. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you learned a lot. See you tomorrow. SpaceX IPO.